Yeah, I don't like to be political. I hate politics. There's a joke in Israel that the word politics is the first letter, and it's also used in Israel also, politica. Politica is po, lo, tihe, yudke. Here there will not be God. Po, lo, tihe, yudke. Here there will not be God. The first initials of God is Yud and Hey, so it's called Yud. The Rebbe said that ours is the generation of Mashiach, and generation of Mashiach is there'll be major changes, but the main changes that there will be is in human want to call it human nature, humanness. And one of the main essences of humanness is to be honest. To be honest with yourself. In other words, see things as they are. Things that don't lie, don't cheat, don't make things up. Or if you see there's things you to accept the world as it is, to see the world, accept the world as it is, and then you can change it. When you look at the world as it is, so you have a big question. Does God exist? Is there a creator? Is there not a creator? And then you can start thinking about more. Well, let's say there is a creator. Then, the Jewish people claim that the creator talked to them. The Jewish people claim, is it true or is it not true? So, okay, that's the next hurdle. So you say, okay, and let's say there is a creator. Good, there is a creator. And this creator, he really talked to the Jews. He gave them the Torah. Right? So is the Torah true or is it not true? Well, maybe not, but if it is, let's look at it. It's really sort of very obligating if the Torah is really true. Maybe not the whole Torah is true. Maybe a little bit is true. Maybe, and you say, well, if the Torah is true, then maybe the rabbi's interpretations are true. And if they're really true, then that it means that I really have to love God and do all the commandments or not. And if it's not true, then not. But let's look at the facts. The fact is it's not true. You're sure it's not true? You're really sure? Your whole basis of life. So there's people that they can live their whole lives imagining they're sure of something that they're not sure of. They're not sure. You're not sure God doesn't exist. Investigate. I'm not saying because you're not sure God exists, therefore be a religious Jew. No, I'm saying investigate. Investigate. It should make you inquisitive. It should wake up. Why don't the Jews accept the other religions? What's the point? What's the point? That should be a question in people's minds. Maybe there's no question. Means either you could say, listen, I'm lazy, I don't care. Okay, at least you're honest. You're lazy, you don't care. But don't say, I know, I'm sure. Now it seems it's really coming to a head. I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but I am. It seems the most amazing thing.
It's an intellectual dishonesty.
Intellectually dangerous. That's what. But that's not the word I want to say.
It's a dishonesty. You're not being honest to yourself.
Okay, good. You're not being honest to yourself. What's going on here? You have in America this thing about Trump, right? So people hate Trump, and it's a mass. They call it a syndrome to the point that it's a syndrome. You say, oh, that's not nice. Come on, that's not nice calling it a syndrome. People can do what they want. They can, but if you hate somebody, you have to have some reason to hate him. And it's an amazing thing. These people really, really hate Trump. I had a guest, a Jewish guy, a religious Jewish guy that he became what we call a Baal Tshuva. He became religious. He was in the world. He was very successful. And he just happened to be a guest in my house for Shabbos. And somehow or other, the conversation just got around on Shabbos. In general, I don't talk about this, but I'm just saying. I said something about Trump, and he just opened up Pandora's box. He just started cursing, and so I said, I'm very happy to have a person that an intellectual person, a religious person, that he really hates Trump. Now you can give me a reason why. So there's a lot of reasons. So I said, well, just give one reason. He said, well, collusion with Russia, that's one of them. So I said, but he hasn't been proven. There's no proof of this. He says, there will be. So I said, that's what you're so excited about, that there will be facts. You're excited about what there's going to be. You're so sure there will be. What is this? So it seems to me, and this has been a question in my mind since Trump has this. The first second I saw him, I liked him. Why? The first second I saw Obama, I hated him. I said, this is a dishonest man. I just looked at his face. I said, this is a dishonest man. Okay, true, I'm doing the same thing. I have no way of knowing. I'm just telling you, this is my gut feeling. I'm looking for facts. Now the facts are really coming up, but I was looking for, I don't like him. I'm not gonna vote for him. I didn't say I hated him. I hate him, you have to impeach him. I didn't like him. The same thing with Clinton, I didn't like him. I saw Trump, something about this guy I like. At least he's not Obama. I'll vote for him. Now, what's happening now is, there's this whole millions of people, and the professors, intellectual people, successful people, and it's not that they just say he's a bad president, he's not good, we got to get rid. They hate him. Well, is he a bad president? Of course he is. He's a liar. He's a cheater. Did you have any lies? He's a bigot. You have any proof that he was a bigot? But he's a cheater. You have a cheater. He's ignorant. He's crazy. He's stupid. He hates blacks. He hates Mexicans. He's Hitler. Good, okay, you have a right to say these things. I mean, you perfectly have gut feelings, but you have to bring proof. You have to prove. What do you mean proof? You have proof that he's a bigot? You have to have proof. Look at all the other things that he's guilty about. He's suspected of everything. It says, okay, but bring proof for one thing, right? You have to bring proof. All of a sudden, everybody gets angry. So I'm thinking, where does this come from? What is going on here? I never believed that there was such a, you want to call it a syndrome, a condition. Mass people, I'm trying to learn some way to find some point. What are they grabbing onto? What does it fire off inside of so many millions of people? That not that they're just Democrats or the Republicans, they hate this man. I hate him. Some people are actually calling for his assassination and for this. So I'm starting to think, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong with this. I'm starting to think that this is the whole point of the Mashiach. They hate Trump because Trump really is honest. And he really does reveal the dishonesty in these other people. Somehow he does. It's not his goal, but it's his fact. He's an honest person. He lives according to values. He lives according to his principles. And his principles are: you didn't drink, didn't smoke. That's good. Yeah, it was a womanizer. That's a bad thing. A womanizer, especially in those standards of those worlds, it was a wonderful thing. He raped girls. He had young girls and that. But it was a nice-looking guy. He had nice-looking girls. Okay, I'm not trying to say that lifestyle is okay, but nevertheless, it's not considered in any way a sin. If a movie star does it or a rock and roll star does it, it's the greatest thing in the world, right? In America. But somehow or other, he's calling people out. He's calling people, he's revealing their dishonesty. He's revealing the dishonesty of people. And people don't like that. It says in Derech Mitzvotecha, it's one of the books of Chabad, that there's a commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. And Hillel Hazaken, he said, in a little bit different way, he said, what's not good to you, don't do to others. So he said, that's what Hillel said. He's trying to explain. Somebody came up to him and said, what is the whole Torah? Tell me the whole Torah on 1 foot. So he said, what's not good to you, don't do to others. So the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe in the chain of Chabad, he said, Hillel could not have made a more vague statement than that. Couldn't he be a little bit clearer? He's supposed to be a rabbi. Rabbis are supposed to teach. What did he teach us by this? What's not good to you, don't do to other people, right? I don't like Chinese food, so I should never give Chinese food to everybody, right? My wife likes Chinese food. No. What's good to me, what's not good to me, I don't do to others. It's ridiculous. He says, no. There's one thing that's not good to everybody. There's one thing that everybody hates. And what is that? That other people see their faults. Somebody else reveals my fault. Nobody likes it. Everybody hates it. Peer pressure is such an amazingly powerful, deeply rooted in the essence of everybody's personality. To the point where Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, before he died, he was like the greatest of the great. The whole entire Torah rested on him after the destruction of the temple. And his pupils on his deathbed, his pupils said, give us your last parting words, your advice to hold us when you're not here. He said, you should fear God like you fear people. And they said, what? Fear God or fear people? I mean, we're religious people, we only believe in God. Of course we... He said, you should know that before a person does a sin, he says, I hope nobody's watching me. I hope nobody sees me. Because people don't like to be revealed. People don't like to have their faults known to others. They don't know to others. And this is a universal thing, and it's perhaps the deepest influence on human personality that there is in the world. What other people think about you. In a way, that's what's so bad about being a hermit or whatever, because there's no other people. You can't fix yourself up. You think you're 100% okay. But it's such a tremendous motivation. And it seems to me that that's what this Trump is doing.
You know, he does it also, not by what he says and what he does. They just sense it about him.
Right, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And that's why he doesn't have to say anything. He doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to have any proof. Just the fact that he does such a thing like this, it makes people not just not vote for him, or be opposed for him because he's a political party. He's really not a political party. I guess he's more Republican than the Republicans hate him. Right? The other people, the Republicans on his, they hate him because he has something about him that it's a God-given gift that maybe it's something he worked on. I don't know, but there's some sort of an honesty that's there.
He's just a regular guy. He's trying to do the right thing.
He's also gifted. He makes right choices. Also, he makes amazingly deep right choices. If you ask me, at least he makes choices. At least he does something, right? And he, like for instance, it was just now one of these black congressmen. So he said something about Trump. He said, "Listen, you come from the city. You represent Maryland. There's Baltimore, Maryland. Is the worst city in the world. I don't know the world, but in the United States for sure. And it's rat infested." He said, "This is bigotry, the highest levels of that." Right? I mean, I watch this stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I watch it in the bathroom, maybe 4 minutes, but you can get the point, right? And they showed interviews on the different television programs, and how these interviewers are angry. How can he say that this is obvious bigotry? Only rats live in Baltimore. It's mostly black. First of all, it's not mostly black. It's a little bit more than it is mostly, but it's a little bit more than 50%. And secondly, everybody says it's a rat-infested place, and they show pictures of it, and it's terrible. And this guy is the congressman, and he says, "What's wrong? Not Baltimore is not wrong. Trump is wrong. Trump is the fault. Trump is the rat." One of them said like that. He himself is a rat. Right? Okay, good. Let's say he's a rat, but Baltimore is not a good time. It's not a fix up things. No. It's not. We're not to fix nothing. He's the. It inspires in people this insanity.
They have now the mayor of New York.
Can't blah. Yeah. Yeah.
He says, if Trump comes to New York, I'll kick him out. And the people will be. He was terrible for New York. The fact of the matter is that what he did for New York City, nobody else.
Oh, sure, he rebuilt New York.
He rebuilt.
That's
Look at 42nd Street today.
I understand.
A couple of hotels there, they're beautiful.
Sure.
They got rid of all the
slums. Yeah.
You can say that he was at the forefront of economic revitalization of the city.
Yeah.
By investing and building in New York City.
Right. Okay, listen, I'm not talking about that. That's not the point. Every politician, he has his accomplishments that he can wave in front of everybody. That's not my point. My point is the hatred, universal hatred, inspired in the hearts of tens of millions, hundreds, who knows how many millions of people in America. Millions of people. It's just like this strange, weird spirit fell over, like aliens came and just sort of hypnotized everybody, right? I can't really understand it. I remember when I was young, there was a picture, there was a movie that aliens came and they sucked people's brains. You could see they had a little X on the back of their neck, right? Where the aliens got to them, right? And people would act normal, But if you happened to look at the back of their neck, you'd see that, that they were really being controlled by these people are being controlled by hatred. It's like some sort of alien force. But unfortunately, the fact is, it's not an alien force. The fact is this is, how do you say it? Worldliness, egotism at its worst. I'm right, everyone's wrong. I know, nobody else does. If you're against me, you're my enemy. Right? I hate anyone that disagrees with me. That's bigotry. That is the essence of bigotry. Anyone who disagrees with me, anyone who doesn't look like me, anyone who doesn't agree with me, I'm against them. That's why they hate Trump. That's why they hate Trump. And he brings this out in them. Okay, let's go. I'm sorry. I didn't want to get into it. It's just been a